No surprise, the party of big business and landlords, no surprise that the help is not there still for working people. Millions of people in the retail sector, there's over 5 million people that work in the retail sector. There's millions that work in the hotel sector and the tourism sector and etc., the restaurant sector. Ultimately, workers need immediate assistance. Literally, millions of jobs are on the line. Pret a Manger today announced that it will be cutting hours for staff. Those staff will typically be on poor contracts and poor pay already. And many in these sectors are on 0-hour contracts where they have no guarantee of hours every single week. They turn up and get told how many hours they will have for the day or for the week, which should be completely illegal. They should be employed on a full-time basis or on a part-time basis, but they should get regular hours. 0-hour contracts are used by massive companies in Britain to exploit workers. They should be banned like they've been banned in Ireland, but they're not banned here, and it's a total disgrace. Of course, the Tories don't care, because the Tories are the party of big business, not the party of working people. They're capitalists, they're ideologues, and they think that an unstable labour market is good for capitalism. So they don't care, and they will only change if they're forced through mass mobilisation. But currently, restaurants and pubs will be shutting left, right and centre, and companies in these sectors will currently, as far as I'm aware, have no legal duty if they take these loans that are going to be given to them by the HMRC. If they give these very low interest loans, and again, it's still yet to be seen what terms these loans will be dealt upon, but essentially, as far as I'm aware, they will not be forcing companies to maintain staff. So they could still get rid of many staff and force the staff to go on to job seekers allowance or universal credit, which will be completely inadequate. So we're going to have millions of people, potentially millions of people, on sick pay that is far too low, or they will lose their jobs and have to claim universal credit or job seekers allowance, which is again completely and utterly inadequate. It's in no way going to encourage people to self-isolate. What needs to happen is a universal basic income where everyone is given a universal basic payment every month that will allow them to pay for their bills and will allow them, give them money to purchase essentials and food. Without that, people are going to start getting massively in debt, using credit cards to pay for everything, and the economy is going to, sectors of the economy will tank. We cannot have this happen. Now is the perfect time to give a universal basic income. Johnson must be forced to do this. Without massive public pressure, they will not. The universal income would be unconditional and will be paid to everyone of adult working age. Now, Denmark and Ireland have already come out and said that they will pay workers 75, well, Denmark have said they will pay workers 75% of their salary. They will not have as many 0-hour contracts. They don't have a significant gig economy. Well, Ireland perhaps does, but Denmark doesn't, in Scandinavia. but England and Wales and Northern Ireland and Scotland does have a significant gig economy, and so having just an employee protection scheme like those two countries are proposing will not, in England and Wales and Scotland, solve the problem, because it would solve it somewhat, but there are millions that are on 0-hour casual contracts and that are self-employed, that under the Danish scheme currently would not be protected because they're not considered full-time employees eligible for this payment protection, this employee protection scheme. And so we need an even bolder scheme where the government will pay 75% of the salaries and the employer pays the other 25%. But where people are losing their jobs and they can't even afford to do that, then we need a universal basic income as well to give everyone, the self-employed, the 0 contracts, and the people that are currently receiving universal credit and job seekers allowance, which are receiving a pittance, really, or nowhere near enough to pay for their bills and mortgage if they're in self-isolation. So we need drastic, urgent measures. If these types of payment protection measures or universal basic income are not carried out, the consequences would be that these companies will start massively shedding jobs, as I discussed yesterday. We're seeing it already. The airline industry is on its knees and will be very shortly. The restaurant business is on it. It will be shortly be on its knees. Of course, where demand drops, so will jobs, unless there is definitive action. Simply giving businesses loans when they have no money coming in, forcing them to come into further debt, is not the answer. It's definitely not the only answer, because millions of businesses will say, well, we don't want to take that debt on. We would rather get rid of loads of staff and protect directors and senior management. And that is not right, because millions of people will be left to rot, and we cannot have that happen. So these measures have to be taken out. If you like my videos, please like, comment and subscribe. Thanks.